I'm a product of an alternative certification. I went through the certification program through Dallas ISD, who I worked for 11 years. I have a degree in architecture, and I worked in that field for a year and a half. After a year and a half, it wasn't that I didn't love that or that I didn't have a passion for it I still do to this day, but it was just not fitting into our lifestyle as a newlyweds and so on. So I had subbed when I was in college, and so I decided to start looking in to see if I could get into education, and so that door opened and I took it. And I started taking classes through Texas Women University, and so I got my certification in a year and a half, and I worked as a kindergarten teacher all the way through 6th grade in Dallas, and then I'm here in Mansfield now. So. The interaction that my students and I had once we had technology in the classroom just, multiplied. Having them engaged in the classroom, especially the older students. When I taught 6th grade and 5th grade, the interaction that I had with them with technology was just amazing. I had them hooked once they came into the classroom. As an interventionist now in Mansfield, though, I have to look at ways for each of my students to see how I can get them hooked and how technology can affect them. Because it's not about me, it's about them, and to see where I can bring them up and how I can get them to explore and learn that technology. So I have to meet my students where they're at. And so we're lucky enough that at our campus all the interventionists have 6 to 7 iPads. And since we see 5 students, so we have a one-to-one when it comes to with the iPads. And so we look for apps that are appropriate for each student. Whether their needs are in math or in reading or in both. And so we look for those apps and make sure that they're appropriate for them age-wise and also developmentally appropriate cognitively. So I look for those. We also, last year, one of our teachers introduced us to a kit called Osmo. And so we've been using that. Last year, it was just amazing, especially for my ESL students. The vocabulary development that I could acquire with that program tool was just amazing, because I would introduce vocabulary words for them, and then they would practice those words. And once they were able to tell me in a sentence, use it appropriately and so on, or correctly in a sentence, then they would challenge each other to try to spell it correctly and make sure that the picture matched their word, and just having that interaction with them. So I choose the technology according to the student and according to their need. So you really have to be aware of your students that you're seeing. And it's not just a game, it's always to improve and again, meet them where they're at, so then you can bring them up. This is gonna be sad. The first one that I open is my Outlook to check and see if I have any emails that I have to answer before I get to school. And then my calendar to check what's going on today.